What is going on, everyone? I hope we're doing well. Let's see here. Let's see if this is working. What is going on, everyone? Alright, cool. We're good. Okay, so we'll just wait for a few people to get notified and come through. Funny thing, though, there we go. What's up, Johnny? What's going on? I'll just post this on my communities. So. What's been going on, Johnny? How's things? We are middle of all kinds of issues right now. Nice. Okay, we're just going to continue hanging out till the questions kind of roll through. Nami's here. Johnny's here. What's going on? What's going on? Hope the flight was safe, Nami. Not easy, huh? Nice. What part of Sydney are you from? Or are you staying right now? Okay. Oh. Yeah, guys. So any questions you guys have? Oh, Glebe, nice. Any questions you have, just let me know. We'll kind of like dive in, and I'll walk you guys through how I would adjust it. I am from, East Killara, so near Chatswood. But my wife and I used to live in Ryde and also Macquarie Park. So, yeah, I miss those times. But it is. But onto bigger and better things. What's up, Monty? Yeah, so we'll do these live Q&As. Just make sure, like, whatever questions you have regarding e-com, we'll kind of go through them, make sure you guys are taken care of. And, yeah, any questions that you have about anything that I'm posting right now. Yeah, they're nice. So we've got Nami's in she's in the paid community. We were just talking about MER and all that. So but yeah, guys, just go hard with the questions, hey? No thing. Monty, I don't know. Right now, it depends on it depends, right? If I've got a lot going on in the next couple of weeks, but I do intend to try to do at least one public per week, probably on a Tuesday. I did put out a questionnaire. I just don't know if I haven't checked it actually. 2 responses. Let me have a look here. Yeah, that's either 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. They're both like popular, so we'll see how we go. But yeah. Yeah, we'll continue with the questions. What are your thoughts on DCT? Okay, so let me, Johnny, it's a good question. The problem I have with DCTs, right? I really have a big problem with DCTs. Not because of the idea behind it is great. Don't get me wrong. The idea is great. But my question is, when you put a DCT in and you do broad targeting, right? I mean, I can even show you guys. What happens is you might have an ad that is 1x1 or 4x5 or 9x16. So, but when you put it in a DCT, how do you tell Facebook where to show what? Because a lot of the times what actually happens is that Facebook, regardless of the orientation of the creative, it pushes a 9x16 onto a feed. And then what that does is, because the 9x16 video is this big and this wide, it cuts a lot of the valuable information that is quite vital to the conversion, right? So saying like, yes, of course, like saying if an ad gets spent and so on and so forth, it's a good thing, right? As long as the business's goals are being met, sure, right? But for a lot of for my own brand as well as the brands that I'm running right now, like, we just do not like this. Like, so for the eight figure company that we that I run the head of marketing, I'm the head of marketing for. I'm very careful to do this because we've seen times when I've tried and tested DCTs in the past where, the ad just looks silly. And if you're an 8-figure trying to go to a 9-figure, right, you are very cautious about how these are all portrayed, right? Red Frost Motivation. Can you make a video on? Oh God, there's a heart that's blocking it. Gem Page Builder. The video that I used, I loaded recently. You can use that for Gem Page. It's no problem. My ads aren't performing well. I'm pretty sure it's because of ad fatigue. I wouldn't turn off your ads, Nami. So one benefit, guys, that you get if you're part of the community, is that I actually, for a limited time, I ask for access to your ad account. So Nami, who's asking these questions, right? I can literally go into her ad account right now, and I can tell you why, and give you a little bit more of a a better answer, essentially. Give me 1 second. So let's see. Let's go into the campaign. Obviously, I'm not going to show anything, Naomi, so don't worry. Okay, so last 7 days, right? If you have a look at your overall purchase, so you've got a Bed Pro. You've got 2 Bed Pro campaigns, and then 3 sofa campaigns. Right? So what I'm guessing is that Facebook just doesn't know what's happening, right? I think the budget is honestly split too much. If I just do a quick calc, how much did you spend yesterday? 42. Yeah, you spent like $400 yesterday. Surprising. I would. And overall, your MER is down, Nami? I don't actually think it's a matter of ad fatigue, because you know, let's just be real. You've only had you've only had like less than 1 million impressions, right? The number of people in your country that you're advertising to, I'm sure is a lot more than that. So I think that honestly, what's happening here is that you're what I would do, right, is just, yeah. So you're in loss. I get it. What I would do is focus on the ad sets that are like profitable, right? So you've got your bed and your 2 sofa campaigns, right? If we go last 14 days, the ASC is doing okay, right? But let's try to like consolidate all of this, because I think it's just there's too many campaigns here, right? So you shouldn't have a bed pro and a bed ABO and a CBO, right? Like number one, I would actually probably turn off the ABO, because oh, okay, Nami, uh, when I'm looking at your ABO, right? The ABO budget is set to I think $140 per day. But the problem is that inside of the ABO you have 17 ads. So if you think about it, right, $140 divided by 17, or even divided by 15, right? It's just too many. So none of the ads are going to get significant like spend. So your ad set, because it's not being able to get purchases, it's it's kind of all over the place, right? You Yeah, this is probably not ideal. Probably not ideal. Maybe, oh man, yeah, that's not ideal at all. It's just, yeah, too many things are split, right? Everything is just too split. Like even in the ad sets for the sofa CBO, you've got like 12 ads. I'm pretty sure like so just rule of thumb, right? Whenever you're creating a campaign, right, or with ad sets, never put, like, especially at low budgets, never put in more than like five ads per ad set, right? So the better way for to do this, right, would have been the following. Let me see if I can. What can I share? So I don't want to share my entire screen. Let's close that up. What I can share though is a mirror board. So let me share my screen here for you guys. And I wish the comments would appear on my. Sorry, 1 second. Let me move a few things around and then I'll pull up my thing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me pull my video up so I can walk you through this. Yeah, but Nami, is that making sense? You know, you don't want to be. You have way too many ads in each of these ad sets, right? And that's that's dangerous. So what we can do is I can show you. I can write it out for you here. All right. So what we want to do is whenever you're doing a CBO campaign, right? I only added the new creative static ones yesterday. Okay, well, just general rule of thumb. All right, let's kind of like just start from the basics. When you have your CBO, okay, yeah, you probably should have, but let's just walk through this, right, so that you can we can fix your issue, right? So the issue that you're facing, right, is that too many ad sets inside of inside of an ad set, right? So when your CPO is only spending 140 a day, right? Let's just say, and then you have your shoot. Let's go. You got your ad set 1. Right. Ad set 1. Ad set 2. Right. Ad set 3. Okay. Ad set 3. Then from here, and let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. Right. This one is going to be your control. Right. Your control. This is kind of like using the CPO method, right? Then you've got your ad set 2, which is kind of like your new test 1 of creatives, right? And then in ad set 3, sometimes if your budget allows, you can set up test 2, right? Creatives. But generally speaking, unless this CPO is spending like $1,500, you don't have like a third ad set. Right, so let's just be let's just make it clear, right? You have your best ad here, and your test creatives in here. Now the caveat to this is that inside your test creatives, you limit the total number of creatives. You can do it 2 ways. You can either do a DCT, right? So Charlie the Disruptor, Nick Terrier, they talk about like this 3-2-2 method, right? Which means 3 creatives, 2 ad copies, 2 headlines. The reason I don't like that, because I mentioned with Johnny, the reason I don't like that is because whether it's going to a feed or a story or whatnot, you can't control how like Facebook delivers it, right? So rather what I like to do is I like to just set it as just a straight up, an ad set. But inside of here, I'm only going to have 3 ads, right? So let's just go here, or 3 to 4 ads, right? Ad, 1, add 2, and then add 3, right? So I would actually recommend like Nami, if you're at a point where you're not sure, I think you launching the campaigns that you did actually, or the ad sets that you did, actually probably hurt some of the performance too, right? Because Facebook isn't sure of what's going on, right? So the ultimate goal is like to have a stable ad account, and in order to do that, you need to make sure that you're not making huge changes in the ad account, and then as much spend is going to one particular ad set, like your control, as quickly as possible, right? So that you get the goal here is always to get 50 conversions over 7 days, right? So you want to be very, very careful on how you want to set this up. Whereas let's just take the alternate approach, right? Let's just put you over here. This is what's happening with you, Nami, right now, right? You've got ad 3, it's literally like there's like 17 or 15 different ads that are going on, and then you've got $140 split between like I think the total variables probably would be in the 50s, right? So if you just do some quick math, 140 divided by 50, each ad is only going to get on a day-by-day basis $2.8 worth of spend, which is nowhere near enough for your target CPA, right? So I hope that makes sense, right? Now, this is where we're kind of so Wes, Nami, like I'll let you process that, and then we'll get into your questions. But Wes is asking, Wes, what's going on, man? Do you create these ad sets into CBO while it's running? How many ad sets would you launch in a CBO campaign, right? So generally speaking, like for example, this morning I had my my assistant launch a new set of creatives inside of our CBO, right? Inside of each of our geo CBOs. I think that's okay, because what I'm doing is I'm comparing the week before to seeing like, okay, well, which ad sets am I getting the majority of spend, right? Now, what I'm saying here is, if the performance has been good, and for my particular business, the last 7 days we've been hitting a 30% gross profit margin. So for me, I'm happy, right? So what I would be willing to do, right, is, because I just want to use this one CBO and want to let Facebook determine how this creative is working, right? I will actually set up that third ad set inside of here, right? Now, with that, like, I will add a caveat to this, Wes, because one thing is that the golden rule of Facebook is that when things are working, you generally don't touch it, right? You generally do not touch it. However, what you could do, and this is something that Common Thread Collective talks about, and he's talking about the pipe method. So what you do is you set up another CBO, okay? You set up another CBO, and then inside of this CBO, there's only one ad set, set at a cost cap that your business is ready or comfortable using, right? And then you've only got 3 ads in here. Each of these ad sets have a cost cap. So let's say, for example, I want a target cost of $100 per purchase, right? So I'm going to set a cost cap of $100. Okay. If I set a cost cap of $100, this is one ad set, one angle, right? So I spoke to a recent friend of mine, a close friend of mine who works at CTC, and we were talking about this method here, right? This CBO method, right? Because my golden rule is, if things are working, don't add things that will screw it up. But again, I understand why people preach the one CBO method, right? But with this CBO cost cap method, right? Every time you have a new angle, you're creating a brand new CBO. So let's say, for example, I'm targeting weight loss, right? Weight loss for mums, right? Let's just say targeting weight loss for mums. And then the day after, I want to go and I want to say, okay, well, I want to set up a new CBO, weight loss for dads, right? So then I'm going to set up a new CBO just like this one, right? And then I will set, this is very complex, by the way, very, very complex. So, if I'm losing you, that's okay, right? But you set up another CBO, right, for dads, okay? And then the reason why this method, like the logic behind it, and it's actually very smart, right? Like, the Taylor Holidays is very, very smart guy, right? You've got, let's say, for example, this is your angle, right? Each of these campaigns has this is how it performs, right? You got your purchases and the people, your prospects on the side over here, right? Now, you got your angle, so it's going to deliver impressions to go down this pipeline, right? However, if you have to understand, if you're doing lowest cost, right, the highest volume, lowest cost, pretty much Facebook will spend whatever the budget you set every single day, like, without fail. Because why won't they? However, if you put restraints on it, saying that, Facebook, I don't want you to spend unless you can get me a purchase for $100, well, what I would do is, if you set a cost cap, it pretty much puts these with restraints in there. So rather than having this huge gap in between, it's got a much smaller gap. So it's only going to deliver. And if you guys have ever run cost caps before, you'd know cost caps don't spend every single day, right? Now, his method is pretty much doing this and just having as many angles as possible, 3 different ads, and so on and so forth, and just going off like that, right? So yeah, I hope that is an introduction to a very, very, very advanced Facebook. Excuse me. So Nami, I would, yes, you would 100% turn off unsuccessful test ads when you want to add new testing creatives. 100%. Like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. 100% you would. For sure, for sure. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I hope that answers your questions. This is, yeah, guys, like I said, it's very complex. Like the brand that we're doing over 10, like, you know, we're doing 8 figures in, right? We don't, like, I'm only testing this now, right? So, you know, if you're, I don't know, less than 1,000 a day, even if you're less than 10,000 a day, I would not do this, in all honesty. Because we have client accounts that they want this kind of thing, but, you know, it's just too much work. But I mean, it's very logical. Very interesting. In the second CBO example, how would you fuel the campaign with new creatives, or would you just create a new CBO with the additional? So you have to, Wes, you need to clear that question up a little bit. Would you, so the last portion that you said, would you just create a new CBO with additional new winning creatives? That sentence makes no sense. Pretty much, I think what you're asking is, would you create a new CBO with new creatives, not winning creatives? Because you don't know if those new creatives are winning or not yet, right? So, yeah, you just need to clear a little bit of discernment. Johnny, where do you position your retargeting ads within your campaign? I'm currently running cold and warm ads in one ad set, and Facebook knows how to spend more on the cold ad. It's performing really well. That's exactly how I would do it. I don't set up my ad account so that it's like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. I don't do no, you don't do that anymore. Facebook knows who your target audience is and how to deliver your ads. However, there is one thing that you can say, which is you can go and I lost my train of thought. What I am testing right now is setting up like retargeting campaigns, like static ads that are facing objections and so on and so forth, in a target ROAS ASC campaign, right? So I'm telling it, like, unless you can get a ROAS, a return on ad spend of this, don't spend. And that is what is working really well for us right now. So yeah, let me stop sharing screen. But yeah, hope that clears it up, right? Like, have you tried push marketing, lead generation verbiage, and use CTA like test, try instead of buy now? I never do a buy now, just FYI. The purpose of the ad is not for people to buy right there and then. The purpose of the ad is for people to get over to the landing page. So it's all of our call to actions are always learn more, right? In the actual ad copy, we say you can try it now for 90 days, and if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. But we never ever like have a shop now or anything like that. We always say learn more, because that's what the page is for, right? As the media buying portion of this has nothing to do with getting the actual sale, right? There's two parts, like there's two parts to this. Well, actually there's three. You creative, then the media buying, and then the CRO optimization on the landing page. And then your email marketing, your SMS marketing on the back end, your opt-ins. Those are your kind of like your defense mechanism, right? To push up efficiencies. Because when people come on to your website, come onto your website and you're spending money to get those impressions or clicks, your pop-ups are a way of protecting your investment that you've spent on Facebook, right? And the way that works is, the pop-up sends automations, and then eventually, even though they don't buy right there and then, because of the automations, they eventually buy, right? But Facebook was the one that drove that traffic in the first place. So this is why I think like email ad agencies are like respectfully, I think they're a bit silly, because it's all, it's all a little bit like wishy-washy. Ad copy creative. Yeah, it's never like buy. It's like try now. Hope that makes sense, Wes. So, yeah, no, I mean, no problem. Hope that helps. Okay. All right, guys. As you can see, pretty much any question you guys throw at me, very, very easy to answer. So keep them coming. Oh yeah. Sorry, Kim. Yeah, I saw your message before, but I got lost. As you know, I'm selling in Europe. Yep. Starting with Facebook ads soon. How would you go about ads? Translate ads to the target country, or could I do English for all? I think you know the answer to that question. My question back to you, Kim, is, in the country that you're going to charge or like send ads to, what's the main language? English? If it's English, or is there a big portion of people who speak English? If so, then you can use English. However, if you know that you're like, if you're sending it to like France or like Italy or what's another country that, like even Germany, right? Like if a big proportion of the audience actually speaks, their native tongue, then yeah, 100% localize it. 100%. So Kim, yeah, that's all it is. Wes, what are you up to now? You still part of you still doing media buying? Curious. Yeah, well there you go. Biggest portion will be German, French, and Dutch. Yeah, then you 100% like translate it. No brainer. Otherwise, you're kind of it's like you turning up to the party with you're turning up to like a French party and you're only speaking English, like it's it's I see, working at lead gen. Nice one. Good idea. Oh, good on you, man. How's the old group going? Just curious. But yeah, Kim, like I said, man, you'd save a lot of money if you just like, yeah. I'm not gonna be nonchalant about it, guys. We do have a paid community if you want more direct help, right? If you want more direct help, I will leave a link in the chat, right? Because that's the one big thing that I'm looking to push now. I'll put this community link in there for you guys. Okay, good. I'm glad it's doing well. Yeah, man. I mean, Wes, whenever you're ready, bro, we'll be here, dude. Like the way I think about it is, there's all these people that are spending so much money on ads, right? The way that I've set it up is it's $3 a day, and if you think about that from an ad spend perspective, it's like it's not even, you don't even need to consider. But yeah, I'm pretty much in there daily, and any questions, you get open DMs to me, and for the first 25 people that join, I'm doing like one-on-one calls, just for onboarding. So with myself, not with my team. But one exciting thing, guys, Nami, I think you will enjoy this, and Wes, if you are joining, my good friend, the ecom founder, 8 figures, right? Literally has multiple millions in the bank. I don't know about multiple millions. I definitely know he has a million. He actually is supporting me heavily with this, right? So he's actually going to be a guest with us. Like, I don't know if it's going to be every month, but whenever he can, he'll be attending, and you guys can ask him any question. Just don't embarrass me and ask silly questions. I'm joking. But he's coming to add value to you guys, because he does like the mission that I have right now. So yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be super cool. Like I said, I created the group for the Josh of 8 years ago that got constantly scammed over and over again, wasted multiple hundreds of thousands of ad spend, just in general. And dude, if I could spend $3 a day just to get access to someone who's spending 30, just to get help every single time I have a question of, should I set up this campaign? What do you think about this? Blah, blah, blah. you know, it's so worth it. So worth it. But yeah, Wes, no worries. Whenever you're ready, bro, it'll be there. We'll be here. So yeah. Okay, cool. Now let's stop the plugging. And let's start going back to you guys. Andreas, is there any rule to define the minimum budget by day for one product? I mean, no, not really. So the general rule of thumb, Andreas, right, is that you want to make sure that you try to spend enough for an ad set to get enough conversions, so your ad set can get out of learning phase, right? So if it gets out of learning phase quicker, you're going to get better performance and so on and so forth, right? So the way that we do this is, the way that I like to set like a minimum budget, right? Especially for a new ad account that I'm running, is I take my target CPA, right? So let me just quickly show you guys on the screen here. Give me 1 second. All right. So we've got these sheets. Let me pull. Shoot. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Pathfinder free? Yes. This is you guys can get this from the free group, right? Let me just show you. All right. So we got that question of how do I know how much to spend, right? There's gonna be the gurus online that says like, yeah, just don't worry about it, just spend $5, right? I'm gonna tell you that before you even set the budget, right? Before I even talk about this actually, before you even set the budget, make damn well sure that you know your creative is going to perform. Because if you think that you can do anything like how it was in 2016, it's better that you burn your money, like 100%. It's just less heartache, right? At least you know where it's going, as opposed to you trying to do this one way. And if you're creative, if you come with a crappy creative, yeah, like honestly, you're going to be like, oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. It's because you don't have the knowledge to understand what a good creative is. Therefore, when you go to market and people don't buy, and you're like scratching your head of like, why? It's because you lack that understanding. So I want to be very clear on that. And I have a very, very strong stance on this. If your creative is shit, you will not get sales. It's just that's what it is, right? If your product and your offering is good, right, and your creative is shit, you will get you'll get some sales, right? But when the moment you combine the both, good offer, good creative, right, your ad account structure doesn't really matter after that, right? There are some things that you shouldn't definitely do, but everything else, it doesn't matter. CBO, ABO, cost cap, DPAs, DCTs, whatever you want to use, it will work as long as you have those two things: good product, good offer, good creatives. Okay, so, all right, let's go back to Andreas' question. Okay, let's say, for example, this is my good friend that I set this up for this morning. Let's say, right, my target cost per purchase is somewhere in between here, right? So let's just take the average of these two. Okay, so 227. 227, we've got 50 conversions per week. Boom. Boom, 11,000 per week. How to get daily? Divided by 7, $1,622. Okay. Now let's use a bit of a different example, right? Because maybe that is a little bit outlandish. Let's say, for example, you're selling a product that costs, I don't know, what's 3 times 18? What is that? 74, right? Let's just say 74, right? Then what it's going to do is it's going to calculate your target cost per purchase here. Okay. Then from here, what you can do is a similar situation, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I already did it. $44 in order to get a 15% contribution margin, right? Then if you times 50 by the average of these two to get a 15% contribution margin, you need to spend $245 per week. Meaning, on a day-by-day basis, that ad set should theoretically spend 320. Okay, did I lose anyone? Did that make sense? It's again, like these are very basic terms and basic things, right? But very, very important. Very, very important. Liquidate running DPA. Yeah, I mean that's great. Like DPAs, just be careful though with that. Liquidate. Sorry, do you have, like what's your real name? What's like a name that I can call you? Because liquidate sounds a bit funny. Pretty much what I'm saying is, if you're doing majority DPAs, right? Don't be surprised when one day the well dries up, right? Because DPAs are essentially a retargeting for anyone that has been onto your website or has interacted with your Facebook, Facebook, whatever it's called. Then 100% make sure you have a top of funnel style ad. Yeah, Liquidate, when are you joining our community so we can actually dive in and help you to get further? Let's see. How do I open multiple Amazon? Dude, J Thelis Networks. I'm sorry, I don't know. With Amazon, I couldn't speak to it. So you not sure. How do you open multiple? I don't know. I have two, but that's because I have two LLCs, well 3 LLCs, but only 2 are in the thingos. Cool. Liquidate. Oh no. Liquidate. I'm talking about the So you're in the free group, or you won't get that much access. I'm talking more about there's a paid community group that you have access to as well. So we have we're soon to have 4 live calls. Nami, you're gonna like this if you're still here. We're gonna have 4 live calls per week, and then once a month you'll get a guest, like a guest speaker. So, for example, we might have like this media buyer for spending $1 million a month. We might have we're definitely gonna have the 8-figure founder. Definitely gonna have that. You will also have a contact of mine that does all of our recruiting. So he helped us take our team from pretty much 3-4 members to 10 very quickly. So he'll talk to you guys about like international recruiting. And then on a weekly basis, what you guys will get is 2 calls with me, right? So this is one of them, and the other one will be on Thursday. And then on the other days, whether it be on Monday or Wednesday, you will have my head of email that's going to come and talk to you guys, right? So he runs ads for multiple 8-figure companies. Emails. He runs multiple emails for multiple 8-figure companies, and then you'll also get my 7-figure operations manager. So she'll come and she'll help you as well with operations. So if you want to delegate, if you want to set up systems, she's pretty much helped us. She's pretty much helped me automate my 7-figure business. So I literally have to do nothing. I just do the media buying and the creative. Everything else she's handled. Liquidate, yeah. So that's my worry about DPAs. Opinion on remarketing. DPAs that exclude I don't know if your DPAs that exclude web visitors will I mean theoretically it could work, because it'll target people who are who have engaged with your Facebook page, right? So it's still retargeting, but it is it's not as niche down to just website visitors. Got it? They run stores in Shopify on custom websites. Yeah, we run all of it on Shopify with custom code. Okay, so Trixie, good question about testing products. We're actually launching a product very, very soon. I've we're just building up the Shopify store now, waiting for photos to be taken, and then I can build a page. But this is kind of yeah, no worries, Johnny. Have a good one if you're heading out. All right. So what we can do is what I will show you is how I would do the testing portion, and I'll get my trusty little whiteboard here. Cool. Let me pull you guys down here. Sweet. Alrighty, whiteboard time. So what we want to do is if you're testing a new product, right? You need to be very, very particular about, like, I am very particular about how I'm launching, right? So I always make sure that it's unique. It has a unique proposition, right? Am I going to draw it or type it? No, I'll type it. It's unique in the market, right? Is a great offer when comparing to competitors, right? It's the target, the TAM, which is like the target audience, like the how much of your market you have, right? Like I want a really wide TAM, right? I also want at least a 4 times markup, right? Then I also want good prospects of LTV, right? Meaning, like, I have supplementary products that I could sell, right? And ideally, I want to sell to women if I can. I don't want to sell to men if I can. These are the things that I would be looking at before deciding whether or not to test a product. Is it unique in the market? Is there a great offer when comparing to competitors? Is there a wide TAM? Is there a 4 times markup? Is there good prospects for LTV for this particular product? Because you never want to be stuck with a one product store like all the gurus freaking talk about, right? And then I want to target women, because women generally they have a higher proponent to buying. So I like that. Cool. Yeah, liquidate. Really keep these for the big boys. Sorry. Do you wanna clarify that, liquidate? Do you find the ROAS based strategies, etc., work well on smaller accounts? Really keep these for the big boys, 1 to 3K, even 5K daily spend. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Are you saying, will it work for small accounts, or is it more for big one? Yeah, no problem, Trixie. Hope that helped you. Yeah, just be very careful, okay? So I've seen so many people try to go into the market with something that is so subpar, and in 2024, unless you're like the first seller in, I don't know, in Norway, then it's going to be very difficult. Just FYI. Liquidate. Do you find ROAS based strategies, etc., will work? So right now we haven't tested it in the smaller campaigns. The only 2 accounts that I've tested it in is one that is spending 6K a day and another that's spending 5K a day. So those are in comparison still quite low spend, right? But yeah, I think it should work. I think it should work in smaller accounts too. Yeah, I don't see it not working, right? Because what you're doing is you're still setting, you're setting the parameters with Facebook. So Facebook won't spend unless it thinks that it can hit your ROAS target. If you're worried that the extra spend is just going to blow you out of the water, what you can do is you can just set a higher ROAS target, right? So like going back to my, I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I do. Going back to my little doc here, right? What I would do is I would set, if my target cost per purchase is this, right, for 30% or even higher, I would set my ROAS target at like a 3 or 2, right? So that even if it does spend, right, it will only do it if it thinks that it can hit that ROAS target. The one thing to take into consideration though, Liquidate, for this one is that with a ROAS target campaign, the ROAS target will not hit every single day, just FYI. Some days it'll be high, some days it'll be low, but on a week by week basis, it should average out. That's just what I found, right? But the accounts where, you know, the founder or someone gets like super emotional, and they were like, "Oh, this is just wasting money," right? It's just wasting money. Those are the ones that really struggle. Yeah. Okay, so Liquidate, another good question, bro. You gotta join the freaking paid thing so we can actually talk, you and I, so I can actually help you a bit better. But I mean, I hope that this is helpful too. Let me walk you through this, and let me just talk straight to camera. Sorry, just getting my Shopify notification. No, I'm joking. Sorry guys, I'm like so tired. I woke up at 4:30 this morning. I'm trying to do only 2 coffees a day. Let's see. Yeah, when it comes to cost caps, ROAS, etc., are you rolling with 7-day click or 1-day view? I do not do 1-day view ever right now. I don't. The only time it's really acceptable is if all of your traffic is completely Facebook, right? But even then, you want to be careful because 1-day view attribution, right? Let's just think about what it tells you. That means that if your prospect sees any of your ads, right? Let's say you're running 5 ads and it sees 1 of each, and that one prospect buys, with a 1-day view attribution, where is Facebook going to attribute that sale to? You don't know, because it's all based off modeling. So what I like to do is I like to keep it on click attribution, and then at least on click attribution, we can at least have some sort of clarity. And then even from there, what we like to do is not rely in platform, right? But rely more on like overall MER, what's our overall new customer acquisition costs on a day-by-day basis, what's our AMAR as well, what was the contribution margin for the day, and so on and so forth, right? I don't look at those kind of like the in-platform. Let me give you an example. One of our let me just let me pull up a few stores. Hey, so I'll give you guys sample data from 2 stores right now, right? So sample data. Let me just pull up. Actually, I'll give you sample data from 3 stores without actually revealing actual numbers, but I can compare a real life ROAS versus the actual in-platform ROAS versus actual MER, if that makes sense. All right, so let's have a look at yesterday. Let's have a look at yesterday as well. Yesterday. Okay, cool. Let me just go to Shopify now. Yesterday. Okay. Shop number 1. 30 overall total MER for the day. In platform ROAS was 3.76. Actual MER blended MER divided by 926 6.2. So we've got over a 3 times. Oh, sorry. Just shy of about a 2.5 return that's missing. Store number 2. Yesterday, platform ROAS was. Where's my columns? Platform ROAS 1.83. Actual ROAS. I need to do a few calculations. Divide AUD to USD. 3,000. Platform ROAS was. Sorry guys, I have to do some calculations. Actually, this one was actually quite correct. Overall MER was 1.87 as opposed to 1.83. However, I didn't include Amazon revenue for this one. So if I include Amazon revenue, actually yesterday, let's add in an extra 680. Overall MER was 2.06. So, but obviously, that one's a bit of a flop. So sometimes it can be right, 100%. But you just gotta be careful. Let's have a look at store number 3. Return on ad spend on in-platform 1.28. Actual return or blended MER was 1.482, 2.75. So big discrepancy there too. All right. So all that to say, don't believe in platform. Wes has a question. Oh, okay. This will be my last question, guys. And then I will jet out of after this because I got my other stuff to do. My old product is not being sold by other people, and when I tried to turn the ads back on, it never performed the same as before. Is that a bad sign of the product? Okay, is that a sign of a bad product, or should I stop overthinking and find a new one? Wes, I mean, a lot has changed, right? Like, even when you and I used to work together on this, like, my knowledge of all this has changed. I don't know if you can tell, but even the lingo or the language or the acronyms that I'm using are now just on a different level, right? That's what like one and a half years will do for you, right? So with that being said, my first thought is, well, what's the creative look like, right? If the creative is good, if the creative is decent, but you're still not getting sales, then yeah, I would potentially consider that the market demand isn't there. However, if your creative is more of the issue and you're not really pushing like value props, or you're just trying to run ads to like bottom of funnel type of people, then I would say, yeah, probably it's you that's the issue. So I mean, it really depends, right? Again, you can't force people to have market demand, right? You can only channel it, right? That's one thing you always need to remember. However, a lot of the times we can channel it if we just have a good creative and really show the reasons why they need to buy, right? So yeah, hope that helps. But Wes, whenever we connect again, you will 100% get my. We'll do an onboarding call for you, and we'll make sure you're taken care of. Yeah. But yeah. Cool. All right, guys. I'll give it a few seconds. Remember, if you do want a little bit more help with your business without breaking the bank, right? Feel free to. I'm gonna leave another link in the chat here. Feel free to jump in there. If you guys haven't followed me already on Instagram, make sure you follow me there as well. I will also give you a link. Right? Also give you a link. Boom. And then if, let's say, for example, you don't want to do either of them, but you want to see my case study, then I will also give my case study right here. Okay. So without further ado, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, for the guys that are in the paid community, I'll see you on Thursday, and tomorrow probably. But yeah, for everyone else, I'll see you guys. Oh no, next week we will not be. I'll be at a mastermind, so I will not be doing the lives next week. So we have a break next week, so definitely come. Huh? Insta is not showing up. What the? That's weird. It works for me. Anyway, it's Josh_back. I mean, Nami, I think you already follow me, so it's okay. But thank you for calling it out. Yeah, it's so weird. When I click it, it works okay for me. But yeah. Anyway. Alright guys, thank you so much for your time. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all kinds of good stuff. And I'll catch you guys next time. Laters.